Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Live at the Whiskey Lounge for another Thursday night. Thank you. You know, I made mention of this in my newsletter. I'm Steve Rashid, by the way, in case if you're new here or haven't been here. I made mention that it's getting harder for me to find a slot for myself in this series because thankfully it's gotten popular with musicians. People want to play here. So, but the nights now that I actually play, I'm spinning so many plates that I've spent all week kind of in preparation for this and not sure what is really going to happen over the next hour and a half or so. But thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad that we have a nice crowd here this evening. I'm here with a couple of my really, really dear friends, Don Stiernberg and Jim Cox. We'll talk about that a little later, but I've known these guys for decades. And another person that I really, really enjoy making music with is my son, Robert. And often if I'm playing here, I'll have him come and sit in a tune or something like that. And as I was looking over the tunes, it might have even been yesterday, I went, there are a lot of tunes that Robert could just play on this. So we have him bring a small kit, and he's not going to start the evening, but he will be here and play a good chunk of the evening with us too. So that'll be a fun treat for me and hope for you as well. We do this live thing every Thursday night. The whole idea is small, intimate group jazz, duets and trios primarily, and with the hope that it opens everybody up to the idea of this conversation between just a handful of musicians, and it's something that I truly, really enjoy myself, both as a performer and as an audience member. We treat these as little concerts, and you see a lot of microphones up here. It's so that we can record every show. We record all the shows, and these little guys are cameras. We record. We do a live stream of all the shows on the internet as well. And you got those little table cards there. You're welcome to take those with you, and that will give you a sense of where to go if you'd like to tune in some week when you can't be here. Of course, we love it when you are here. If you can't some week, you're welcome to tune us in online. And we're streaming live. Usually I bring an iPad or something to wave around and brag about. But trust me, we're online. We're live right now. Hi, everybody in Tucson. And we do get people watching. We've had, I forget now, we're up to like 140 countries. I mean, it's in tens and tens of thousands of people watch. It's crazy. I don't know where these people find us, but we are being found and watched, so it's really pretty fun. But of course, you are the coolest because you are actually here personally, and we couldn't do it without you, so we are very grateful for that. But do take those table cards with you. It tells you what's coming up the next couple of weeks, and I'll get right to the music, but let me tell you real briefly that next week is Paul Asaro. I don't know if you're familiar with the Fat Babies. It's a group that does like 1920s style jazz very, very authentically. Paul Asaro occasionally plays with them. He's a piano player that plays in the style of Fats Waller and does a lot of Fats Waller material. Is really, really good. And he was here one night as part of sort of a Fat Babies subgroup, and it was really, really fun. So we thought it'd be fun to give Paul a night of his own. So he's going to be here with a couple other players doing a Fats Waller night, which will be really fun. And then the week after that is, I believe, Swinging Couples, where we have it's Paul Marinaro. Paul Marinaro, incredible singer. And I'm going to talk more about that again in a little bit too. But Paul will be here next week, and then the week after that is Swinging Couples with Judy Roberts and Greg Fishman, along with another couple, Russ Phillips and Jeannie Lambert. So we're going to have a blast here. That's just through July. This series goes on indefinitely, and you're welcome to all of it. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you for supporting live jazz, particularly here. And I'd like to bring my good buddies Don and Jim up here now, and we're going to start making some music for you. We didn't rehearse this part.
What do you mean? Did you rehearse all the way here?
Come to think of it, we didn't rehearse anything, did we? We all know the same jokes. That's the thing. By the way, I said that we were going to be doing music by, not entirely, but we're going to feature music by people who have been big influences on me personally. These are all tunes that I've selected. So that will be And we're going to start right out with one from one of my early jazz heroes, one of the guys I listened to a lot growing up. In fact, formed a whole group around his music that both Jim and Don played in. This group was called the Pork Pies, and we kind of focused on music of the 40s. And this was a song we played a lot, and I'm sure you're going to recognize it. 2, 1, 2, 3. Buzz took a monkey for a ride in the air. The bugs thought that everything was almost square. The buzzer tried to throw the monkey off his back, but the monkey settled back and said, "Now listen, Jack, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use of jiving? Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." Well, the buzz told the monkey, "You're choking me. Release your hold, and I will set you free." The monkey looked the buzzer right dead in the eye. Said, "Your story's so touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Fly right. Thank you. I was just talking to a lovely group of people in the back there who have been here once before, and some people who haven't been here at all, and they were asking about some blues. And oddly enough, that next tune will be a blues tune. One of the people that has really influenced me a lot, in fact, come to think of it, the very first song that I figured that I could play at the piano, that I heard and then sat down at the piano and played it, was a song recorded by this gentleman, a guy named Mose Allison. Love Mose Allison, a fellow who's now retired, and I'm always happy to be able to do some of the music that he either wrote or recorded. And he had a very unique style, and I just love it. And I have to say that I cannot listen to I cannot hear these songs and not hear his versions. This is a tune I actually don't even. Do you know who wrote this, Don? I don't. Was this a Willie Dixon tune?
Could be.
Might be Willie Dixon.
Old traditional
Yeah, it's an old traditional blues tune, and I ought to know, and I'm sorry that I'm blanking on it. But it's a tune, again, another tune you may know if you know blues tunes. It's called "The Seventh Son." Everybody talking about the seventh son. In the whole round world, there's only one, and I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one they call the seventh son. Well, I can tell your future, it will come to pass. I can do things for you, make your heart feel glad. Look in the sky, predict the rain. I can tell when a woman's got another man. I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one they call the seventh son. Go ahead, Don. words that would sound so sweet. They will even make it a little hard to skip a beat. I can heal the sick, raise the dead, and make the little girls talk out of their head. I'm the one. Well, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one, the one they call the seventh son. Yes, I'm the one they call the seventh son. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another person that has been a huge influence on me, both as a songwriter and as a performer, is Randy Newman. And Randy Newman is he's such an interesting guy, and I think if people know really not much about Randy Newman, they may know about Short People, for which he caught a lot of flack, which he thought was ridiculous because it was a song about, and the whole thing kind of put down short people, but the whole point of it was the ridiculousness of prejudice and picking some little aspect of somebody and then not liking him for some stupid reason. And he got all kinds of flack from people who thought he was actually putting down short people. And he had a famous quote about that afterwards, which was, "I had nothing against short people then." But his so that was this kind of silly kind of tune that he wrote that was often taken the wrong way, and then the other one that he did that a lot of people know is "You've Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story, but he's written a million film scores. He's also I've also been very affected by his film scores as well, but. His songs tend to be little short stories. They have little characters in them, and that's one of the reasons I like about them. One of the reasons I really like them is that they really in a very short amount of time capture a character or capture a mood or a place, and it is not the typical kind of storylines or people that you run into in certainly in popular songwriting. And so this is from a record that he did called Good Old Boys, which I would highly recommend if you haven't heard it. It came out in 1974, and it's a portrait that he did of the South. And every song is just a sweet little portrait. Now, well, sometimes some of them not so sweet, but a little portrait of some element of the South. And what you get is a full sort of sense of that part of the country, and then you realize that it really is kind of a microcosm for all of us. And so it kind of turns a mirror on us as you listen to it. So this is one tune called Louisiana 1927 from that record. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure. Is that better? Yeah, it took care of it. Nope. Okay. Ready? 3. What has happened down here is the wind have changed. Clouds roll in from the north and it starts to rain. Rained real hard and it rained for a real long time. 6 feet of water in the streets of Evangeline. The river rose all day, the river rose all night. Some people got lost in the flood. Some people got away all right. The river has busted through clear down to Plaquemine. 6 feet of water in the streets of Evangeline. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. President Coolidge come down in a railroad train with a little fat man with a notepad in his hand. The president said, "Little fat man, isn't it a shame what the river has done to this poor cracker's land? Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. Louisiana, Louisiana, they're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away. They're trying to wash us away." Thank you. What a beautiful tune. We have another artist that I was going to sort of pull some tunes from and do is Paul Simon. I love Paul Simon, and so we've got several Paul Simon tunes. And the first one that came to mind was one that I actually had performed only once before, and it was with our dear friend Ingrid Graudins, who happens to be sitting right there. And we talked about, she had contacted me earlier in the week. I was actually already going to do this tune. I hadn't sort of made the connection that she might be here tonight, and I was doing this song, and we actually did it together. I don't know, what was it, a year ago? Maybe 2 years ago. And so we literally, right before I walked up, I said, "Would you want to come up and sing this with me?" And she said, yes. So Ingrid Graudins.
Misplaced my non-sunglasses. So, yeah, that's all. A little self-conscious.
I think you might need to be sort of in here.
Really?
Table.
Oh.
Can you do that?
Lean back. Something. Yeah.
Good. We are literally putting this together on the spot because this was without planning. So, and we didn't even know if we had lyrics to pass around. So now we do, thanks to technology. She's not texting me as we. Yeah, she's sending me a text.
I
How's
even
the
know
song
the
going so
changes,
far?
if anyone's interested after the show.
What?
The changes are in here too.
Yeah, right. If you want to play it.
The secret changes.
The secret changes we made up. Yeah, we did this at Space. Ingrid had. Do you still have that series? Or do you
Words
still-
and Music is on hiatus at
It
the
is.
moment.
Okay.
But
So.
it will, you know.
Okay. But Ingrid is a fantastic songwriter, fantastic singer, and she has had this series where she brings in different songwriters, and they do sort of a little round robin of songwriters, and they kind of do things for and with each other, right? Yeah.
For and with.
Yes. And I was lucky enough to be on the stage with her one evening, and
That was
here's
great,
what happened,
yeah.
kinda.
Ish.
I have to think about a tempo. Here. I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket for my destination. On a tour of one-night stands, suitcase and guitar in hand, and every stop is neatly planned. I'm a poet in a one-man band, homeward bound. I wish I was homeward bound, home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me. Every day's an endless stream of cigarettes and magazines. And every town looks the same to me, the movies and the factories. And every stranger's face I see reminds me that I long to be homeward bound. Wish I was homeward bound. Home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me. Sing my songs again, play the game and pretend. And all my words come back to me like emptiness and mediocrity, emptiness and harmony. Need someone to comfort me. Homeward bound, wish I was homeward bound. Home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me, silently for me, silently for me. Prize for me. Right there, we're doing that tune. Speaking of guests, I would now like to bring up my son, Robert. The seventh son, yes. We've done this song before, and this is one that Robert often comes and sits in on with us because I wrote it with drums in mind, and so I kind of can't do the song without a drummer. So it's, if I don't have Robert, we don't do the tune, basically. But I will tell you very quickly that this song was one of my songs, and it was drawn 100% completely from memory. And that memory, do you ever have those memories where a scent or a smell will trigger a really strong memory for you? Happens to me all the time. And I heard, just the other day, my wife and I were walking back from the fireworks on the 4th of July, and I smelled a cigar. And it threw me back to this song, because this song was entirely 100% inspired by the smell of a cigar. I smelled a cigar, and I was thrown back to when I was a child in a little town in Wisconsin, Ripon, Wisconsin, and I had a very strong association with a place on Main Street in Ripon, Wisconsin, where my uncle had a butcher shop, and it was a really great place to sit whenever there were parades that went by. And so there is a cigar. When I started writing this song, the song was going to be about the smell of a cigar, and I thought, no, actually, it's about the memory, not about the cigar. But there is a cigar in the song. But this is 100% true. Uncle Irv said, "Bobby, come have a seat." And I said, "Uncle Irv, Bob is not my name. But I love my big brother, so it's all the same." And Aunt Grace said, "I hope it doesn't rain." Dad's flipping burgers at the Kiwanis tent. The burlap bags of hot steamed corn are waiting on the ground. Guys playing sheep's head over by the butcher shop. They all look up when they hear that sound. Can you feel that beat? The band comes marching right down Watson Street. The old men salute, the baby's crying, children jump for joy or run alongside it. First come the Cub Scouts walking tall, then the vets from WWI. Then the sound starts bouncing off the five and dime, and here they come in perfect time. Can you feel that beat? The band comes marching right down Watson Street. The old men salute, the baby's crying, children jump for joy or run alongside it. Cigars smoke in the air, flags waving everywhere. This is the greatest country in the world. Don't you wish that you were there? Don't you wish that you were there? Can you feel that beat? The band comes marching right down Watson Street. The old men salute, the baby's crying, children jump for joy and run alongside it. Robert Rashid. 100% true, and my uncle never did learn my name. Hey, we're going to keep Robert up here for a little bit because it's so much fun to have him here. And here's one that we never performed before, but I'm sure you know it. You may know it better than we know it. We're about to find out. About there? How do we feel it? Go ahead. Up there. 1, 2, 3. Pajama rolled out of bed, she ran to the police station. When the papa found out, he began to shout. He started the investigation. It's against the law. It was against the law. What the mama saw, it was against the law. Now the mama looked down and spit on the ground every time my name gets mentioned. The papa said, oh, if I get that boy, I'm gonna stick him in the house of detention. Well, I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye to Rose, the queen of Corona. See you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. And let the press let the story leak. But when a radical priest come to get me released, we was all undercover in Newsweek. Well, I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye to Rose and the Queen of Corona. See you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See you and me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Thank you. How can you not like that song? Jeez. I gotta say, Paul Simon's songs are deceptively hard. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but that is harder than one might think. At least I thought so. Okay, here's another Mose Allison tune. This is one that he wrote, and one that he actually had to quit performing after a while because of its perceived political incorrectness. And again, I think it was kind of, it's a character in a song, not his personal feelings. So you'd be the judge. Sitting over here on Parchment Farm. Sitting over here on Parchment Farm. Sitting over here on Parchment Farm, but I ain't never done no man no harm. Putting that cotton in an 11-foot sack. Putting that cotton in an 11-foot sack. Putting that cotton in an 11-foot sack with a 12-gauge shotgun at my back. Over here on number 9. Sitting over here on number 9. on number 9, and all I did was drink my wine. Well, I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. Well, I'm gonna be on this farm for my natural life. Well, I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life, and all I did was shoot my wife. Sitting over here on Parchment Farm. Sitting over here on Parchment Farm. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Parchment Farm, by the way, is a euphemism for the state penitentiary in Mississippi, I believe. And that's where that came from. You know, most weeks I introduce the act and I go over and sit down and I don't have to talk so much. Now I have to talk a lot. This is hard. I keep thinking of things to say every song. This is hard. This is another song of mine. There was a period several years ago where I got really interested in the writings of Raymond Chandler. He was if you're not familiar, he's a detective novelist, wrote a lot of the books that became the film noir classics, The Big Sleep, and of course all the other names are escaping me now, but there were a whole bunch of them. And I got really taken with his turn of phrase, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun? And a lot of it was kind of hip slang of the 40s and kind of well, actually, I wrote down a couple things that were typical Raymond Chandler. She smelled the way the Taj Mahal looked by moonlight. I'm an occasional drinker, the kind of guy who goes out for a beer and wakes up in Singapore with a full beard. That's a couple examples of Raymond Chandler. And I thought, wouldn't it be kind of cool to write a song that used that kind of language? And So I took a few phrases, lifted them from some of his novels, and then I took. I have a really great book of hipster slang, and it's really funny. And so I just mined it for all kinds of just funny phrases, and I concocted this bit of fiction about the time in 1949 that I was hanging out with Benny Goodman, and came up with this. It's called "Oh Benny." So me and Benny Goodman were hanging out at Condon's, swapping a few sides and knocking a few back. I brought some Prez, he had the latest Clifford. Benny always packed the wildest wax. So we're hanging loose and talking looser, like who's cubistic and who's a cat. Benny starts doing next week's drinking. And I say, Pops, don't go lose your hat. And he said, Steve, man, I know my groceries. And when I have a thought, I brain it around. The way I see it, this gig is over. The big bands are going down. Oh, Benny, don't be a fool. No need to upset yourself. You're the king of swing, and that's cool. You're groovy as a movie, so put your worries on the shelf. You still rule the school. But Benny says, these little hep cats with their oo-bop and their zoot suits and goatees and glasses and French berets, And me, I'm just trying to blow my rosewood. Looks like the Ray has had his day. So Benny's fussing and he's spitting and he's fuming, and meanwhile there's a ruckus out on the street. 'Cause up pulls a ragtop and out pops chicken dinner. And his skirt yells, "Where's that lying sheep?" And I say, "Benny, you happen to know that muffin?" And he said, "Oh, Pop, that blonde from the Belvedere. She'd make a bishop kick a stained glass window. But I stiffed her for lunch and cab fare here. Uh-oh." Well, the door flies open and in walks trouble. She's dressed in red with her gauge up max. She throws a chair, locks her lamps on Benny. Benny jumps right out the back. "Oh, Benny, did you really leave? I know you must protect yourself, 'cause you're the king of swing, and I'm Steve. But man, you left me hanging. This chick's about to blow a fuse from here to Santa Cruz. She's on fire. She's hot as a rocket. She shoots me a look I can feel in my pocket. I don't know my elbow from my shoe. She could thrill me or kill me. Benny, what am I supposed to do? So that was the last time I laid my eyes on Benny. The king of swing changed my life. He was a master, I owe him plenty. Anyway, that's the story of how I met my wife. Oh, Benny. She'd make a bishop kick a stained glass window. That would. She would. We got one more tune this set. Is that right? That's right. Got one more tune this set. And but please stick around because there's going to be a little extra something after this next tune. But we're going to play one more song and then a little something, and then we're going to take a break. This is another one of mine. How did that happen? How did we get so many of those in here? No one else will do them. That's why. I think didn't Duke Ellington say the reason he wrote his own music was because he couldn't play anybody else's? That's part of it, believe me. We have these delightful neighbors that have grandkids that visit every now and then. Logan and Mackenzie, these two little kids, great names. Logan is the older brother, Mackenzie's the younger sister, and they come to visit for different periods of time. And a couple weeks ago, they were visiting their grandparents, and Mackenzie was just learning how to ride a bicycle, and it was the greatest thing. And it's amazing when you watch it because it really does throw you back. And she went from, in one day, she went from being completely, she would just like, she would have nothing to like pew! And it was incredible. You know, like one morning she was flopping all over the sidewalk. By that afternoon she was like this, and the next day you had to watch your step outside because she was flying by. And I thought, what a cool thing that is. Once you have that, it sort of never goes away. It's such a great feeling. And I was reminded of this song as I was watching her, because this actually was written by shortly after the time that I actually don't even remember if it was Robert or his younger brother that learned how to ride a bike, and I was thinking back on, it was Robert. I was thinking back on just kind of the generational nature of that, and how it's passed down from generation to generation, and we learn that skill from someone who's a parent or a caregiver or whoever. But what a sweet thing that is, and how it's means something a little bit more than that even. So this is a song about that. It's called "Running by My Side." The change was jingling in your pockets. The wind was blowing in my face. We couldn't stop if we wanted to stop it. You're wobbling all over the place. Flying down the road, you're pounding the ground. The world is a blur, but I'm laughing out loud. My heart's in a knot, but I think I'm alright, 'cause your hand's by my hand, and you're running by my side. Sometimes time stands still. You don't know what to say, 'cause you're having a dream in the middle of the day. I'm flying. I'm flying. Point in the ride, just when to let go, so I'd still be alright. 33 years makes a boy a man. There's still plenty of things left to understand, but somehow I know, way deep inside, wherever I go, wherever I ride, your hand's by my hand, I'll be alright, 'cause you're running by my side. There you go. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. So the little extra little treat we have is usually I do an interview at this point in the set and get up and interview, and somebody at the bar. Rebecca, did you say I should interview myself, or did? And then Carl actually had the idea that Carl, by the way, Carl Ross that handled our video. I'm so grateful for that. Go Carl. He suggested that since there's a bit of a delay on the video, that maybe we could work it out so I could ask the question and wait for it to come around on the video and then answer it. But instead, we're going to have my lovely wife, Bea, come up and interview us. And this is going to be, I'm more nervous than I have been all week.
All right. So I'm Bea. I'm Steve's wife, Bea Rashid. It's so nice to have fans right here in the front. That's so nice. So usually Steve asks all these really intelligent questions about jazz, and it's not my world at all. I'm a dancer, but my first exposure to a lot of jazz music was when I met Steve. But I guess one of the questions I have, since this is, what, the 81st show you've had here?
Is it? It could be. It's
Didn't you
close
say
to
there
it.
was like 80 shows or whatever? I'd
We're
like to
into
know
the
from
70s.
you,
Yes.
since you started this series, what have you learned about yourself?
Oh man, really? We're going deep. We're going into
Okay,
deep. end,
okay,
right?
or about jazz in Chicago. I mean, you can just like what? How is it? How are you different now after 80 shows?
That's a really great question.
Thank you.
One of the things I've really become very excited about is how diverse the jazz community is in Chicago, and I didn't realize. I mean, quite honestly, when I first started this, my thought was really great room. Wonder if I can get kind of a regular thing where I could play here, and then the weeks that I wouldn't play every week, but the weeks I don't play, I could get my friends to play, and maybe a few of those would go. And I called in all my markers the first 4 or 5 weeks. I called in all my buddies, and Jim and Don and Polina Garcia and John Mulder and some of these other friends that I've known for a long time, and Judy Roberts, and asked them to come in and play, and they all thankfully said yes and did it. And now it's kind of gotten to the point where a lot of musicians want to come here and play, and it's opened me up to musicians I didn't even know existed in the city. That's been really fun. I really enjoyed that. And I didn't look that far ahead. I was really just looking for, well, even if I get like 5 or 6 other people that want to share this with me, we just kind of keep doing round robin. And but it's grown into something that's almost unmanageable. But in a good way, I guess. That answer your question?
That answers it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I got a question for Don. Do you know that the mandolin is just a chick magnet?
That wasn't a question.
That's not a question.
Wait, he doesn't get a yes or no after I get that.
It is just the coolest instrument, right? You pull it out, it's so tiny, it is so hip. But really, my question is this: like, when you've been playing with Steve since college, or right out of college, Domino, and then the Pork Pies, and then how many years after that, gigging and everything else. Did you ever have a sense that you guys would be playing together this long?
Oh, wow.
Do you have a microphone?
No, you have his microphone.
Or did you, how is it? Shape the question.
Well, first I'll go back to the first question. Thank you. And it is the greatest instrument in the world. Yeah, thank you very much. This chick magnet concept, I'm not so sure about, but it's very popular instrument for sure. It's the greatest instrument in the world, and that's as far as I'll go with that one. Now, let's see. Did we ever have a sense that we'd be playing this long?
Yeah.
Well, no, it was
did you get that feeling like you were going to be like working together forever?
well, not. I can still remember the first time I heard Steve play, and I knew at that instant that we'd play together, and I made it happen like the next day. Found out which dorm room he lived in, and then I knocked on the door, and that's where it started. I didn't put any projections on how. I probably at that time didn't think, wow, maybe 35 years from now or whatever it is, we'll have a gig in Evanston. But I sure knew that when I first heard him play that we were going to play together. Made sure of it.
That was very mutual, by the way. And we did go to college together. And
oh, right, sure, fine.
and we Don was from this area, and I was from Wisconsin. We went to college in Wisconsin together, and he moved down here after he graduated, and I followed him down here. And that's what brought me to Chicago, to Evanston. And then I went to Northwestern for graduate school. One of my professors is right here, and he walked in and asked me if I'd finished my assignment. And I immediately went into a cold sweat. Thanks a lot, Steve. I appreciate it.
You know, I don't know if you all know this, but Don actually travels all over the world, giving mandolin symposiums. How many countries have you been to, Don?
Well, should we count Texas? Or-
Oh my God.
And do we count Indiana too? Oh, sorry. Not that, you know.
Where have you been recently?
Well, I just went around the United States in the month of June. It's my busiest time, and I started in Oregon, and I went to Massachusetts, then I went to California, and then I went to upstate New York, and just made it back a couple days ago. So yeah.
Who planned your trip?
Oh, my travel agent. Yeah, you can tell with a trip like that that I'm the travel agent. And then I'm going to. I'll be in North Carolina in a couple weeks for another mandolin camp, and I think the country of Tennessee might be on there somewhere too. Anyway.
We've also been all over, like Italy, Germany, right? Those two. Yeah.
Jim, I asked you a million questions recently, so I don't want to go through all the same questions because I had a million questions for him about why the bass. I mean, you know, it's huge and you have to lug it with you no matter what gig you go to. Totally, you know, this is just so much more portable.
Efficient.
But I think, how many basses do you have? And do you have more than one? And do you choose differently, or do you just like really have one and this is the one that goes with you no matter where you go? I'm not a musician. I ask really dumb questions, but
No dumb
they're the
questions.
ones that come to me.
That's a pretty good question. I have several of these. a few electric basses and several upright basses. But this is the one I bought when I was in high school and paid for it with my paper route money. And it turned out to
Your
be
what money?
Paper route.
route money. It turned out to be a great bass, and I've. So the other ones just kind of sit in my basement. It's like a museum or something.
So that's the one you take all the time.
Yeah, this one I play all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah. So.
Do you have any questions for Jim?
No, I'm not doing the
And
interview. Bob.
Bob, yes? How did you and Steve meet? Oh, God. He just sang the song of how we met.
We were hanging out in New York. She came in throwing chairs, and I went, "That's the one for me."
Oh, that's a long story, but we met working on a show together, a theater show in Chicago. We were actually fixed
In
up
Chicago,
by some
yeah.
friends.
In
Chicago.
We both went to Northwestern, but at different times, and we met through friends at Northwestern friends that were mutual friends. And it was, yes, it was. There was a theater group in town called the Practical Theater Company, which was a comedy, like a sketch comedy group, and they were made up of Northwestern friends. And I was a musical director for them for years, and Bea came into town, was a former college roommate of one of the people in the cast, and so she came in and ended up choreographing the show, and I was a music director. That's how we met.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I have one quick question for Robert. So, you know, Robert's been writing some of his own music in our basement, but the kind of stuff he does is sort of electronic and club and, you know, all this kind of stuff and rapping and all that kind of stuff. And, but you're kind of like seem to be comfortable in this realm too, and then you love rock. And how is it different every time, you know, like when you play in different styles? Do you have a different hat on, a different mindset? Do you just sort of, you know, feel comfortable in all the different styles, or is it an effort to change styles?
He's got it. You might have to come, Robert, you might have to come closer.
Okay, so I usually like playing really loud, so it's really hard to play quietly. But so that's the hardest thing for me, is that like I'm like by nature I'm more of like a rock drummer, so I tend to like playing rock and funk music, and like pop music, you know. So that's that's what I kind of grew up on. That's what I like to play along to. But I got involved in jazz in high school and college, and was around. I went to Lawrence University, and even I studied math there. But they had a great conservatory, and so I was able to kind of like keep my feet in the jazz department with all these guys that were only there for music. So that was really, really cool, was to like be able to like play, I got to, I could, play with jazz bands and jazz combos and little on-campus bands that we all formed together and played around for parties and shows and stuff. So that was kind of like how I kept doing jazz, even though my roots were more in popular music.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt you were playing very tastefully tonight. That was really
Yes.
good. Does anybody else have any questions? Yes, Roberta.
Are you still playing baseball?
Am I? Oh my gosh. I don't think so.
For those of you who don't
That's
know,
really
He doesn't think so, was his answer if you didn't hear him.
coming out of college, Robert played professional baseball for several seasons with several teams in the Southwest and enjoyed it.
All right, Steve, would you like to answer any more questions? I have
think-
a lot of other ones, but I feel like we
I
should
think-
probably
I think
take a
we're
break
done
and
with
get
the
going.
questions. Yeah.
All right, we got a little break. Don't go away. Come right back. Act 2.
Thanks, Ben. Folks, we're going to get it started again in just a few minutes as the guys make their way back to the stage. I just will tell you again, next week is going to be Paul Asaro. And if you're walked in late, Paul does a great, he knows a lot of Fats Waller material. He's a really capable piano player. And here's the funny thing about Paul. When he was here the last time, he actually brought a piano, an actual piano. And it was... Yeah, yes, I'm getting there. So it was a shortened piano. It wasn't a full 88 keys. It was like 70 keys or something like that. So it was this little piano, and it sounded great for that, for that style. It was like the exact right thing. And he brought it up in the little elevator here. I said, Paul, how did you get the piano here? And he said, in my car. I said, what kind of car? He said, a Prius. I went, are you kidding me? So... if you're not doing anything next Thursday, even if you don't like Fats Waller, I would come here to see Paul bring a piano in his Prius. But truly, it's worth it for the music. Yeah, right. Let's stream him getting the piano out of his Prius. Yeah, I think we'll invite Don back to the stage. Don usually needs an introduction. Don Stiernberg, ladies and gentlemen. One and only.
Thank you. No, really. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to launch into this. This is just an old song that I like to do. Stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so bad. Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can look this whole wide world over, but she'll never find a sweet man like me. Go ahead, Don. When I die, I want you to dress me in straight lace shoes, box back coat and a Stetson hat, with a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys will know I died standing pat. Well, now let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can look this whole wide world over, but you'll never find another sweet man like me. Where she can look this whole wide world over, but you'll never find another sweet man like me. That's not too creepy. Holy moly. This is another Randy Newman tune coming up. This is another one actually that got a fair amount of airplay for a while. He wrote this in 1969, released it in 1972 on a record called Little Criminals. And I'm not going to tell you anything else about it. All set, Tom? No one likes us, I don't know why. We may not be perfect, but heaven knows we try. But all around, even our old friends put us down. Let's drop the big one and see what happens. We give them money, but are they grateful? No, they're spiteful and they're hateful. They don't respect us, so let's surprise them. We'll drop the big one and pulverize them. Asia's crowded, Europe's too old, Africa's far too hot and Canada's too cold. South America stole our name. Let's drop the big one, there'll be no one left to blame us. We'll save Australia, don't want to hurt no kangaroo. We'll build an all-American amusement park there. They got surfing too. Boom goes London, boom Paris. More room for you and more room for me. And every city, the whole world round, will just be another American town. Oh, how peaceful it will be. We'll set everybody free. You'll wear a Japanese kimono, there'll be Italian shoes for me. They all hate us anyhow, so let's drop the big one now. Let's drop the big one now. I actually thought today that would make a good campaign song for Donald Trump. Kind of that sensibility. Here's another one by Mose Allison. Wow, this is a complete left turn. This is one of the ones that is more known written by Mose himself. Again, Mose did a lot of songs by other people, but was a very prolific songwriter in his own right. Excuse me. And this one is called Everybody Crying Mercy. can't believe the things I'm seeing. Wondering about some things I've heard. Everybody crying mercy, but they don't know the meaning of the word. Bad enough situation, sure enough getting worse. Everybody crying justice, just as long as there's business first. Toe to toe, touch and go. Give a cheer, get your souvenir. People running round in circles, don't know what they're headed for. Everybody crying peace on earth, and just as soon as we win this war. Straight ahead, knock 'em dead. Pack your kit, choose your hypocrite. You don't have to go to off-Broadway to see something plain absurd. Everybody crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. Nobody knows the meaning of the word. This is one by Dave Frishberg. Dave Frishberg, who I certainly wouldn't count as a big influence for me, but somebody whose music, every time I hear one of his songs, I go, "Oh, that guy." I mean, he and really, was anybody here when Judy Roberts was here a few weeks ago? So she did this tune, "My Attorney Bernie." That was a Dave Frishberg tune. He also wrote "Peel Me a Grape." He had this great song about this couple that never see each other called "Quality Time," which is really fantastic. But every time I hear one of his songs, I think that I got to do this. And this is the one Dave Frishberg song I know, and I heard a great version of it by Blossom Dearie, and that sold me on it. So quite a few people have recorded it. Mel Torme, gosh, who else? And Dave Frishberg himself, of course. But quirky little songs, and this one is no exception. It was written in the mid-late 60s, I think, but still relevant. I only made one lyric change. See if you can spot it. I'm hip, I'm no square. I'm alert, I'm awake, I'm aware. I am always on the scene, making the rounds, digging the sounds. I read People magazine, I'm so hip. Like Dig, I'm in step. When it was hip to be hep, I was hep. I don't blow, but I'm a fan. Look at me swing, ring-a-ding-ding. I even call my girlfriend man, I'm so hip. Now every Saturday night, with my suit buttoned tight and my suede's on, I'm getting my kicks, digging arty French flicks with my shades on. 'Cause I'm too much, I'm a gas. I am anything but middle class. When I'm hanging round the band, popping my thumbs, digging the drums, squares don't seem to understand why I flip They're not hip like I'm hip. Scooby-Dooby-Dooby. Yeah, I'm hip, but not weird. Like, you notice I don't wear a beard. Beards were in, but now they're out. They had their day, now they're passé. Just ask me if you're in doubt, 'cause I'm hip. Yeah, I'm hip. I'm alive. I enjoy any joint where there's jive. I'm on top of every trend. Look at me go, Vodiodo. Michael Bublé knows my friend. I'm so hip. Now I'm deep into Zen, meditation and macrobiotics. And as soon as I can, I intend to get into narcotics. Because I am cool as a cuke. I'm a cat, I'm a card, I'm a kook. I get so much out of life. Really I do. Scoobity-boo. One more time, play Mac the Knife, let her rip. I may flip, but I'm hip. Yeah, I'm hip. Skiddly-dooby-dooby-dooby. Oh, Lordy. I've always liked that song. Well, this one is not funny. This one actually is quite serious. This is was inspired. It sort of doesn't even matter what news event inspired it, but you can't turn on the television without seeing some horrible thing about somebody doing something horrible to somebody else. And we're certainly, no one's immune from doing things they regret, but when you see some of these things, you just can't imagine what went through somebody's mind. And I started thinking about the nature of regret and remorse, and I certainly can relate to that, doing things that I feel bad about. And thought, what happens when you do something so absolutely horrible that you just want to run from it, and then it finally does catch up with you? And so this is called "Sail Me Away." That last wave was stronger than the one before. Gets real choppy this far from shore. Don't know if I can take it, can't stand much more. Take me away from here, sail me away, sail me away. Take me away from this world. I don't know how I got here. Take me away from this world. Just sail me away. Now my brother warned me. He said the cards are stacked. On a voyage like this, you gotta work together to survive. But once you set your course, man, you can't turn back. But I'm afraid of where I have arrived. Sail me away, sail me away. Take me away from this world. I don't know how I got here. Take me away from this world. Just sail me away. When we first got started, every thought seemed real. He had a vision, he had a plan. Now I lost my compass, and I can barely feel. How am I supposed to be a man? Sail me away. give right now, just to jump up and run free. But it's raining light, and I can't see. And the fire inside my throat is draining life from me. Take me away from here. Sail me away. Sail me away. Now I'm not asking for forgiveness. I ain't asking for mercy. I ain't asking for nothing except sail me away. Thanks. Oh, here's a song I've been looking forward to doing because I can use this sound. This is another one falls into that category of a really hard Paul Simon tune. Another one that really doesn't need an introduction, so I won't introduce it. You got the cool water when the fever runs high. You got the look of love light in your eyes, and I was in crazy motion till you calmed me down. It took a little time, but you calmed me down. When something goes wrong, I'm the first to admit it. First to admit it, the last one to know. When something goes right, well, it's likely to lose me, yeah. Apt to confuse me. It's such an unusual sight. Whoa, I can't get used to something so right, something so right. They got a wall in China that's 1,000 miles long. To keep out the foreigners, they made it strong. And I got a wall around me that you can't even see. It took a little time get next to me. When something goes wrong, I'm the first to admit it. The first to admit it. The last one to know. When something goes right, well, it's likely to lose me, yeah. Apt to confuse me. Such an unusual sight. Whoa, I swear I can't get used to something so right, something so right. Some people never say those words, I love you. Not their style to be so bold. Some people never say those words, I love you. Like a child, they're longing to be told. Something so wrong. I'm the first to admit it. First to admit it. The last one to know. Something goes right, well, it's likely to lose me. is apt to confuse me. It's such an unusual sight. Oh, I swear I can't get used to something so right. There's something so right. This is a fun night for us because there are quite a few of these songs that, I mean, I've known for a long time. I could, just kind of sing them because they're just sort of part of the DNA after a while, after you listen to enough music. But I never ever performed that. Quite a few of these, actually. It's fun. Oh. Here's another one of mine. This is this thing called West Coast Lament, and it came from an experience I had. Don and several other of our friends and I went out to California because another friend of ours from, a buddy of mine from Northwestern, John Adair, got married, and several of us went out, and Kevin Connolly, who's a drummer buddy of mine, and I flew out together and split a rental car, and it was a convertible, and we had a blast, and it just was just a very fun weekend. So somehow that turned into this song, which is complete fiction, but it kind of inspired the song.
Did you have some trouble keeping the top down on the car?
Yeah, that was I thought, great, California convertible. This is great. We rented a convertible. Actually, we were not going to rent a convertible, and then Kevin said, there's a convertible right over. I said, let's get it. So we rented the convertible, and we took the top down. We went screaming up the Pacific Coast Highway, and of course, the sun's going down, and it's like 50. And we had the top down. So I had the top down, and the windows rolled up, and the heat cranked, trying to stay warm because and there was nowhere to pull off where we were. So thankfully, I didn't think to put the top up while we were driving, but we did feel kind of like idiots while we were doing this. But yeah, that was part of the weekend. But we ended up in Ojai, which is where John lives, and John and his lovely wife, and that was where the wedding was. And O-J-A-I, yeah, pronounced obviously, Ojai. Ojai. That's how we pronounce it in Wisconsin, actually. Ojai. Ojai. Cry. And then this also was somehow is related to my interest in the music of Chet Baker and Jerry Mulligan, which was known as the West Coast Jazz. So this kind of has that sort of style infused in it, or my attempt at it anyway. So we just throw it. You remember that great Randy Newman quote where he talks about, he wrote this, Schubert.
Schubert, yeah.
He said, I like to think this piece sounds a little like Schubert, but with a certain shitty quality. That's kind of how I feel about this. It sounds like a little like Jerry Mulligan, but with certain shitty quality. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember driving up the coast in a rented MG. We yelled at the mountains with the top down, waving goodbye. The ocean breezes made us feel high, reminiscing about our Cold War days when we were spies, and we kept the country safe from the Ruskies and the big one. It was a simpler time. It was take, it was give. You knew who they were, you knew where they lived. We had our bunkers, and they had theirs. We all had nukes, but we had spares. Good fences fences make good neighbors. I always say, no one could touch us, no one could touch us, not like today. Wedding was swinging up in Ohio. Hummingbirds outside the hotel, cloudless skies. The band was cooking, the cooks were swinging, synchronicity. The young couple was madly in love, the angels were singing. It was a simpler time, it was take, it was give. I knew who you were, you knew where I lived. I had my bunker, you had yours too. We were both out of ammo by the time we were through. Good fences make good neighbors, I always say. No one could touch me, no one could touch me, not like today. Something's magic about California. You never hear a negative sound. Ooh, brings out the best in all mankind. Land where the redheads abound. Sun upended our grand affair. Nothing quite so sublime. Retired G-men just making their flight. Man, what a time. When our younger son, you've met Robert, our older son, when our younger son Daniel, who is now 22, was first learning how to talk, he had these great little phrases that for things that weren't happening in the present moment. And I used to love that. And it was kind of like he was, 2 or 2.5, 3, and there was, when you haven't been on the planet that long, forward and backwards in time, there isn't that much context. And so anything that wasn't happening right now, he used to say it happened a long, long day ago. And that could be next week or 2 years from now or last year. It sort of didn't matter which direction it went. And I used to just really love that he was so in the moment that it was either now or not now, that there was the now and the not now. And so I started collecting phrases that he would say. And I strung them together along with some of my own and came up with this thing. It's called A Long, Long Day Ago. Walk upon your road. A long, long day ago. I will know just where to go. A long, long day to go. And always you will find me. A long, long day ago. We will lie beneath the shade what we have made. A long, long day, a long, long day ago. And always I will love you. A long, long day ago. For even green connects the blue. Even blue connects the red. Every hue connects to you. Even we are smiling. Even we are smiling. Even I am curled upon your palm. Thank you much. I'll do this one by myself, fellas. This is for all you Catholics out there. This is actually the first time I heard this. It was the first time I realized that music could be irreverent. Some people might call it sacrilegious. I call it sacrilegious. First you get down on your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Do whatever steps you want if you have cleared it with the pontiff. Everybody says on Kyrie eleison, doing the Vatican rag. Get in line in that processional, step into that small confessional. There the guy who's got religion'll tell you if your sin's original. If it is, try plain and safer. Drink the wine and chew the wafer. 2, 4, 6, 8. Time to transubstantiate. So get down upon your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Ave Maria, gee, it's good to see you. Getting ecstatic and kind of dramatic and doing the Vatican rag. Wow. What is that line? Oh, that's it. Make a cross on your abdomen. When in Rome, do like a Roman. Ave Maria, gee, it's good to see you. Yeah. I do that song once every 6 months, and I don't rehearse it in between, apparently. Should we do this? This one room country shack? Mm-hmm. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, we should.
I think we ought to. I think you should just start it. And Robert, just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I do anyway.
1,000 miles from nowhere, in this one-room country little shack. Sitting here 1,000 miles from nowhere, in this one-room country little shack. My only worldly possession is a raggedy old 11-foot cotton sack. I wake up every night by midnight. Now people, I just can't sleep no more. Every night around midnight, people, I just can't sleep no more. Only crickets and frogs to keep me company, and the wind howling round my door. How, Don? To go out of my mind. I'll leave here early in the morning. I'm about to go out of my mind. Well, I'm gonna find me some kind of companion, even if she's dumb, deaf, crippled, and blind. About as crusty a composition as you can get there. Let's go to. Please don't go. Okay, I think so. Yeah. We're going to play one more tune for you. And this is Randy on kind of a blues note. This is another, one more Mose Allison tune. Actually, this is not, again, something he wrote. This was a Muddy Waters tune. that Mose recorded, and that was actually the version that I heard. The first version I heard was Muddy Water, or was Mose, and then I heard Muddy Waters, and I heard Paul Butterfield did a great version. There were like a billion versions of these, weren't there?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, yeah.
Yeah.
Did she? I don't know. Thought Don knew something I didn't.
I just like saying that name.
So thank you so much for sticking around. Staying till you all get gold stars for staying till the last. I do that every week. Anyone who stays to the end gets a gold star. So someday I'm going to buy some gold stars and you'll actually receive them. But for now, they're mental gold stars. You can just carry that with you. But I will tell you once again, that's my son Robert Rashid over there on the drums. And young and talented Jim Cox on the bass. And my good buddy, and the reason I live here in the great Chicago area, Don Stiernberg. How about that? And we're going to close it up with this one last one called Baby, Please Don't Go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Now, baby, please don't go down to New Orleans because I love you so. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. Now turn your lamp down low because I love you so. Now baby, please don't go. got me way down here. They got me way down here. They got me way down here by the rolling fog. Treat me like a dog. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go.
Steve Rashid. Steve Rashid. Steve Rashid.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Take these cards with you. Come back. Have a safe night. Thank you so much for coming.